Good morning and welcome to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. I'm Deja Brown. Time now is 9:01 on this Thursday morning. Thank you so much for joining us. A big week here in Memphis following a lot of local stories as well as some national headlines. So let's go ahead and tell you some stories that we're following this morning. We're following some breaking news out of Bartlett where firefighters were called out this morning for a house fire. This is a look at what our photographer was able to find just a few hours ago on Williams Cove. We have reached out to the fire department to get more information, and you can count on us to keep you updated both on air and online as we get the very latest information. If I-55 South is part of your morning commute, you may want to plan an alternate route. A tractor trailer slammed into an overpass around 7 last night, closing all southbound lanes from South 3rd Street and knocking out the 3rd Street Bridge. Traffic diverted at Horn Lake Road overnight. One person was taken to the hospital in non-critical condition. We are continuing to monitor this situation, so you can stick with us, again, both on air and online for the very latest updates. Memphis police have arrested a 16-year-old boy in the deadly Douglas neighborhood shooting from over the weekend. It is the third suspect in custody. The shooting killed 34-year-old Dr. Chandrika Hazlett, who had just earned her doctorate last May. 4 others were also injured. The other 2 suspects both face murder and attempted murder charges. Niskal Wilson and Damian Thomas are expected to return to court in 2 weeks. We are learning more about a Hardeman County inmate who died in custody. The company that operates the Hardeman County Correctional Facility says another inmate killed Jonathan Fleming on Sunday. Staff responded to what they're calling an assault and transported Fleming to the hospital where he later died. An official cause of death has not been released. Fleming had been serving a 6-year sentence since 2022 after pleading guilty to the sex offender registry violations. The Tennessee Department of Corrections is investigating. This was never about a speeding ticket. Those are the words from the attorney of the woman suing after an ASP trooper punched her in the face on video. Elisa Hackett hired Ben Crump after this traffic stop earlier this month. She's suing for civil rights violations. Video shows Trooper Moises Arroyo tackling her and punching her. ASP is investigating internally. Arroyo is still on active duty. Crump has criticized the department for not putting him on leave, saying, quote, administrative leave is what a serious agency does while it finds out what happened. Refusing to do so tells Alyssa and every other young person driving through Arkansas at night exactly who the agency is trying to protect. The founder of the nonprofit Memphis Kings and his son will be back in court today facing felony drug charges. The 2 were arrested back in June. According to court documents, detectives were scanning packages at a UPS facility when a canine sniffed out 2 packages with marijuana. Officers let the packages be delivered and claimed they saw Trey take one. They followed him and arrested both him and Lysander. The 2 face charges of drug possession with intent to sell. The city of Memphis is heading to Chancery Court today over allegations it violated the state's Public Records Act. Law student Tyler Foster filed the lawsuit challenging how the city handles public records requests for police disciplinary files. Foster says the city refused to produce disciplinary records for officers involved in the No Kings protest back in March, violating a prior court order. The hearing is set for 10 o'clock this morning. Nearly 3 months after the botched execution of Memphis man Tony Carruthers, the state of Tennessee will attempt another execution. Daryl Hines will be put to death today. He was convicted of first-degree felony murder for killing Catherine Jean Jenkins, a maid in Kingston Springs. Hines' legal team has asked for a stay of execution, but Governor Bill Lee said he will not intervene. So as of right now, it is moving forward as planned for 10 o'clock this morning. Several other groups have raised concerns over the state's execution process following the failed attempt on Carruthers. The procedure was called off after the Tennessee Department of Correction couldn't find a vein to insert the lethal drug. A complaint from Carruthers' sister claims he was stuck with a needle for nearly an hour and a half, causing excruciating pain. A group of doctors across Tennessee is calling on Governor Bill Lee to pause executions, arguing the state is unable to carry them out in compliance with the law. Memphis police are searching for the driver who hit a little girl and took off. It happened just before 8:30 Wednesday morning near the Hollywood Library. The car was gone before officers arrived. The girl was hospitalized with non-critical injuries. The company in charge of medical and mental health inside Shelby County jails is cutting ties with the county. WellPath is ending its contract to provide health care at 4 facilities: the Shelby County Jail, Jail East, the Department of Corrections Complex on Mullen Station Road, and the Youth Justice Education Center. Just City, a nonprofit dedicated to criminal justice reform, said they want leaders to step up when choosing a new provider. WellPath will continue to provide service until the county finds a new company to take over, but there's no timeline yet for when that will happen. Music superstar John Legend is taking the stage in Memphis tomorrow night. The Grammy-winning singer brings his An Evening of Songs and Stories show to Radiance Amphitheater at the Memphis Botanic Garden as part of the Live at the Garden concert series. This will be the Botanic Garden's third concert of the summer series. Gates open at 5:30, with the show beginning at 8. A new Veterans Village is opening tomorrow in Memphis, providing permanent housing and support for veterans experiencing homelessness. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation transformed a former hotel on Riverbend Road into 110 affordable housing units. Veterans will have access to VA benefits assistance, mental health care, and addiction recovery services. The grand opening ceremony will be tomorrow morning, starting at 10. Residents in Bolivar will soon have a place to cool off indoors year-round. The state of Tennessee awarded the city $3.5 million in grant funding to build an indoor swimming pool at the Bolivar Parks and Recreation Center. Mayor Julian McTizzick says the facility will serve both young and older residents with fitness and community programming. And listen to this, millions across Europe stopped and looked up Wednesday as a rare total solar eclipse swept the continent. The path of totality covered parts of northern Spain, northeast Portugal, and Iceland, plunging towns into darkness midday. Spain hadn't seen a total eclipse since 1905. Up to 6 million people packed the eclipse's path, with Spanish officials warning visitors to avoid wildfire risk areas during an ongoing heat wave. The next total solar eclipse, that comes August 2nd of 2027, visible over southern Spain, North Africa, Saudi Arabia, and Yemen. Transitioning now to sports, today we'll learn the full Grizzlies schedule for next year, but we already have a sneak peek. The matchups have been announced for this year's NBA Cup and MLK Day. The Grizzlies host OKC on November 6th, then they'll head to New Orleans the next week. Memphis hosts the LA Clippers on Wednesday, November 25th, before traveling to Minnesota just 2 days later. Then in January, the Grizzlies host the Rockets at 6:30 p.m. on MLK Day. The full season schedule will release today at 2 p.m. Next week, the Memphis Grizzlies are bringing back their annual garage sale. You can get your hands on some really cool items at garage sale prices, all for a good cause. The proceeds benefit the Memphis Grizzlies Preparatory Charter School. Garage sale items include Grizzlies clothing, sneakers, furniture, and various autograph items from numerous seasons. This is next Saturday, August 22nd, so mark your calendars. It's happening in the grand lobby of FedEx Forum. And we're going to tell you about a Healthy Beginnings community baby shower that's going to be happening at the library, the Central Library, from 10 to 2. So we're going to get some updates about that in just a second, but stick with us. We have more of the digital desk coming up in just a bit. Thanks for sticking with us here on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Time now is 9:12. We're going to talk about some national headlines. We're following another high-profile departure from the second Trump administration. The president announcing the youngest White House press secretary in history will be leaving her role at the end of the month. Now, the new gap in White House messaging comes as President Trump is facing low approval ratings fueled by stubborn inflation and unpopular war. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest.
in the future.
Yoon says the current housing market can be particularly challenging for people looking to buy their first home. Buying a condo instead of a single-family home.
Prices have actually declined and with more inventory, and therefore for first-time buyers, condominium, more affordable homes, more options.
There is some good news for potential buyers. Yoon says sellers whose homes have sat on the market will be forced to
Hi, Miss Janae. Can you hear me okay? It's Deja with
It's
Action News
recorded.
5.
Check.
Check. I hear
I
us.
heard something
Yeah.
like feedback.
Okay.
You laughing at yourself?
Yes. Because I just kind of keep
you
like
got to.
leaning
You
into
got
the.
to. That's why I was like, you could come in if you want.
All right. It's registering our audio.
Okay.
We should be good. And your shot is nice and pretty and children's-y for the
Yes,
background.
yes.
Oh, somebody's chatting with us, I think.
No.
No.
Hi, ladies. Can you hear me okay?
It's like breaking up. If you can hear me, the audio I'm getting from you guys is breaking up. Oh.
Good morning, First Alert Meteorologist Addison Bentley. Thanks for joining us here on the digital desk. Those temperatures for your afternoon, well, they're climbing. We start off this morning in the 70s, head to the 80s, and then about 98 to top us off here in Shelby County. We're even looking at Crowder 99 degrees. Some of you closer to Marianna, Arkansas could see triple digits. Now let's talk about your forecast feel like though. Stepping out the door, what it actually feels like outside could get upwards about 105 to 110 for the afternoon. So looking at that extreme heat warning here in Arkansas in the Mississippi Delta region and the advisory here in western portions of Tennessee. By tonight, a warm night. We're looking at these warm mornings, hot afternoons ahead of us. 80 degrees overall, mostly clear, warm and muggy conditions will continue. But 10 days. Not too happy about it, especially for your weekend plans. 98 today, could see a stray shower. Main topic's going to start for your Friday, 100 degrees with those feel like temperatures. Well, they're on the incline. 111 over here in Memphis in some areas, 107 in Oxford, where those temperatures are still at 97. Most of us last week, it felt outside like it was about 97, 100 degrees, but this week, that is the actual temperature we're looking at. 100 down in Clarksdale feels like closer to 110. By your Saturday, that humidity is going to dip just a tad bit, but still feeling like over the triple digits, stepping out the door, headed to the St. Jude Championship as well as outdoor. We got the Zoo Brew at the Memphis Zoo, as well as Live at the Garden with John Legend on your Friday night. Heading into your Saturday, though, about 100 here in Memphis, 108 feels like with the humidity a little bit lower. I feel like temperatures aren't going to really exceed 110 in many areas at all, getting closer to 108 in certain portions. By your Sunday, the hottest day of the next 7 days, we're looking about 102 with those temperatures overnight into the 80s, as well as your Monday. Could see the potential for a shower for your Monday heading throughout the daytime. Now, if you see some rain, could drop our temperatures just a few degrees, but still a hot afternoon with those sweltering temperatures coming to play. By your 8 o'clock hour, mostly dry until we head into the afternoon. Could see the pop-up downpours into the afternoon hours and into the earlier portions of the evening before we dry out into the overnight hours on your Monday. About the same for your Tuesday, but we dip up just a tad bit back into the mid-90s by your Tuesday, back into the upper 80s by your Wednesday, and heading into Thursday.
That was meteorologist Addison Bentley. Addison, thank you so much for the check of the forecast. It is an exciting week here in the city of Memphis. So many exciting things are happening, and I want to tell you about this fun event that's happening with Memphis Public Library's Connect crew. Miss Janae Walker is joining us. Miss Janae, thank you so much. Tell me a little bit about the Healthy Beginnings Community Baby Shower. Thanks so much for joining us on the digital desk.
Thank you for having me so much. So this Saturday, we are going to have our first ever Healthy Beginnings community baby shower, and it is open to new and expecting mothers. We are collaborating with some of our best community resources and partners around the city that all come together for the main focus of creating healthy beginnings for new moms post-birth, and pre-birth as well. So we're just here to offer resources, to offer things like a prenatal yoga class on Saturday, free giveaways for the first 25 guests, and so much more. We're going to have a health panel of health professionals, including an OBGYN, a doula, and a midwife, to just give some pertinent information for new and expecting moms, just to kind of be able to guide and just give them resources to make their journey safe, healthy, and happy, overall positive.
And Miss Janae, when you're speaking about this, I can see the excitement on your face. What gets you so excited about community initiatives like this, but specifically this one?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear
me?
you. Could you repeat that? We're having a little feedback.
Can you hear me now? Looks like we might be having some technical difficulties. We are going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Give us just a second. Miss Janae, can you not hear me? Can you hear me now? Hannah.
Good morning, First Alert Meteorologist Addison Bentley. Thanks for joining us here on the digital desk. Those temperatures for your afternoon, well, they're climbing. We started off this morning in the 70s, head to the 80s, and then about 98 to top us off here in Shelby County. We're even looking at Crowder 99 degrees. Some of you closer to Marianna, Arkansas could see the triple digits. Now let's talk about your forecast feel like though. Stepping out the door, what it actually feels like outside.
Miss Janae, can you hear me now? Can you hear me okay? Nope. Hey, Miss Janae, can you hear me now? Okay, she can hear me now. Yeah, she can hear me now.
Yes. Sorry, we just unmuted.
Okay, I think we're good.
All right. You want us to start over and kind of repeat
Yeah, I
what we
think we're going to start
went
over.
through
We're in a
already,
break.
or
Yeah, we're going to start from the top. We're in a break, so as soon as we come out of break, I'll relaunch. Thank you
y'all
for
are the
your
best.
patience.
Thank
We're so
you.
sorry.
No, it happens. It happens.
All right, perfect. Give us just a bit, and we'll be right back to you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. A few technical difficulties there, but hey, it's Thursday. We're just excited to be here. We're going to bring back in Miss Janae to talk about the Healthy Beginnings Community Baby Shower. Miss Janae, thanks so much for sticking with us through some of these technical difficulties. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Walk me through this exciting event that's happening.
Yes, so Saturday at Benjamin Hooks Library, meeting rooms A, B, and C, we are having our first ever Healthy Beginnings community baby shower event. And this event is focusing on new and expecting moms. So we are collaborating with community partners who are on the same type of mindset of just being able to bring resources to these new moms and expecting mothers as well, to just be able to give them a social support setting that provides them with health information, health education, health equity to this vulnerable population. And so we are excited to be collaborating and bringing this to the public, to be offering them some great wealth of information, some expertise from health expert professionals. We have a midwife, we have a doula, we have an OBGYN, and we're going to be giving away gifts for the first 25 guests in attendance as well. We're doing a prenatal yoga class session as well. We're offering a story time demonstration, Mommy and Me, from one of our seasoned veterans here at the library. And we have just so much to offer for the public, and in particular this population. They are in need of just healthy beginnings, healthy starts for their moms, for babies. So this is our first ever event. We're very excited to be offering this to people who are in need.
And Miss Janae, let me ask you this. This is where it got cut off last time. I see when you're speaking about this, you're so excited. Why are events like this so needed in the community? And then what gets you excited about offering this to the community?
Well, events like this are very needed in our community. I've been enrolled at the University of Memphis in my public health master's program, and the first thing that I learned is about social support, and social support is pertinent for vulnerable populations. And so the library is a mecca for that. We are a haven that we offer free resources to the community, to the public. We have our doors open for any and everyone to come in. We offer a wealth of just, like I said, resources, internet access, programming. And so I wanted to create something for new and expecting moms, because they are often a vulnerable population that's considered a vulnerable population. So I think this is something that I'm passionate about, something that I've did a lot of research on. It was a topic of mine that I had to come up with. And so with that research, I learned there are so many areas of opportunity and just needs there for this particular community. And so we wanted to just come and deliver and offer them something so they can have a strong start at life and post-birth.
And Ms. Janae, speaking of support, which we know is so vital, let's say people are out there, they're not an expected mother, or, not a mother, but they want to help, they want to volunteer. Are there opportunities for people to get involved?
Absolutely. We are we are open and looking for volunteers. So if you are interested in volunteering, you can for sure email me, or you can also call our office phone as well. We are not turning down any help. And this isn't just for new and expecting mothers, but they also impact the people and the families, the roles that they also serve within their own family. So it can impact fathers, it can impact grandmas, grandfathers, just anybody. And again, I feel like that this is a need for a population that oftentimes can be underserved. And so I think that's what the library is all about, is kind of filling in that gap for people that are truly in need, and just being able to give them something to look forward to, and a focus on them.
Absolutely. Is there anything I didn't ask you that you feel is important to mention, either about the event or even about resources that are out there?
Yes, so we didn't cover the hours. So the hours are going to be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We are open and welcoming to any and all. Even if it's a family thing, you can please bring your family as well. That's why we have the things like Mommy and Me Storytime demonstration. We want to emphasize the literacy component that is also not just helpful for babies, but it's also helpful for mom and being able to bond with their babies. But we welcome dads, we welcome grandparents, we welcome any type of family structural support system that they can come in and learn something too, because it truly does take a village.
You took the words right out of my mouth. It definitely takes a village. We are so excited. And this is the inaugural year, but we know with this, it's going to be successful and come for years to come. And just one more time, it's going to be August 15th, right, from 10 to 2 p.m. And tell us the location one more time.
Yes, August 15th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Benjamin Hooks Central Library, 3030 Poplar Avenue. We are looking forward to the people coming, and we're looking forward to them getting some great wealth of information from a lot of community partners that we have, and just being able to enjoy themselves.
Ms. Janae, thank you so much for joining us on the Digital Desk. Thank you for your passion and contributing and supporting the community in such a fantastic way. Thank you so much for joining us and sticking with us on the Digital Desk this morning.
Yes, thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys so much.
Absolutely. And we'll have all these resources and information on our website at Action News 5. Make sure you come out. You don't have to be a new or expecting mother. Again, it takes a village. So if you're that dad, that grandmother, even just that really close friend, or if you want to volunteer, we'll have all the resources on our website. Thank you again, Ms. Janae.
Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Stick with us here on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. We will be right back.
And
Thank you, Ms. Janae. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. I'm going to send you an email just to get some information for your email and phone number for some volunteer opportunities.
Yes, of course, of course.
Okay, perfect. I thank you so much and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you. You do the same.
Oh, it's only Thursday, but you know what I mean. Still, enjoy your weekend.
Yes, it's coming. It's around the corner.
Yes, thank you again. I'll see you soon.
See you soon.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so that break ran.
So do we have, how many do we have left?
How many do we have left? Because we can't keep up with
Is it 8? I think it's 8.
8, yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right.
This morning, a shakeup among.
Thank you so much for sticking with us on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. We're following some high-profile departures from the second Trump administration. The president announcing the youngest White House press secretary in history will be leaving her role at the end of the month. A new gap in White House messaging, it comes as President Trump is facing low approval ratings fueled by stubborn inflation and unpopular war. Let's send it over to Alice Barr, who has the very latest on what's happening in Washington.
This morning, a shakeup among President Trump's closest aides with the announcement White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt will leave her role at the end of the month. The president said to spend more time with her young children, adding she'll remain a top outside advisor. Leavitt had a baby girl in May, her second child, and posted about the challenges of balancing the high-pressure job and motherhood, calling the decision to leave bittersweet. Colleagues praised her.
She has served this president so well, this administration so well.
Her approach to the press at times adversarial, with frequent clashes in the White House briefing room. And her departure comes amid controversy over whether journalists on board Air Force One served as a decoy during President Trump's secret flight from the NATO summit in Turkey last month over concerns of an Iranian threat. It also comes as the president's approval ratings have fallen, with Americans frustrated by the war with Iran dragging on. Despite President Trump's claim Wednesday that the U.S. has total control over the Strait of Hormuz, Iran said that critical shipping channel remains blocked until its conditions are accepted. The bottleneck only adding to stubbornly high prices, with a new report putting inflation at 3.4% in July, ticking down slightly from June, but still above target, with lingering concerns about the broader impact of energy costs.
If it stays persistently elevated, energy costs do filter through to other categories.
Ongoing challenges and a new search for leadership in the president's team. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Alice, thanks so much. A federal appeals court has denied the government's request to throw out an injunction barring them from deporting Kilmar Abrego Garcia to Liberia. Abrego's lawyers continue to say that he would accept a removal to Costa Rica, but the government has not agreed to that. Paul Wagner has the details.
For some time now, the Trump administration has insisted on deporting Kilmar Abrego Garcia to Liberia instead of Costa Rica, where Abrego has agreed to go. But an injunction put in place by Judge Paul Azinis forbids the government from going through with it. And so the Trump administration back in April appealed to the Fourth Circuit.
A few months ago, the government filed a motion to essentially set aside that order, seeking permission to deport him to Liberia and to detain him in a detention center sort of while they were carrying that out. Judge Azinis was considering the motion, but apparently she wasn't going quite fast enough for the government. And before she even had the chance to rule on it, they took an appeal up to the Court of Appeals.
And so with the appeal denied, the case is back in Judge Azinis' courtroom.
The stalemate continues, right? It's been a stalemate since really December of last year. The government insists on deporting Mr. Abrego Garcia to Liberia. Well, now it's Liberia. First it was Uganda, then it was Ghana. But at this point, they insist on deporting him to Liberia and only to Liberia.
A position the government maintains even though at a recent congressional hearing, the new Secretary of Homeland Security, Mark Wayne Mullen, told lawmakers if Abrego wants to go to Costa Rica, we will send him there.
In response to questioning by Senator Van Hollen under oath, we pointed that out, we filed that into the case. Looks to me like they're walking that back sort of silently because they haven't changed their position in court at all.
Simon Sandoval Motionberg says he doesn't expect another court date before Judge Azinis issues a new ruling, one he certainly hopes goes Abrego's way.
If they want to deport him to Liberia, he's got to be taken in front of an immigration judge. He's got to have the opportunity to present his case, win or lose, appeals, etc. Like, just because it's a third country and not his country of citizenship doesn't mean that he's entitled to any less due process.
For now, Abrego waits for an outcome, living with his family in Maryland. Although the criminal case against Abrego, a human smuggling case in Tennessee, was thrown out for vindictive and selective prosecution, the Trump administration is appealing that ruling as well.
Now to that solar eclipse sweeping across Europe, millions looking up at the same sky at the same moment and agreeing on one thing: it was beautiful. NBC's Gotti Schwartz takes us into the darkness.
Across parts of the Earth tonight, a sunset before the sun sets. When we first saw it, it was above Iceland, the moon sliding slowly into dazzling position.
Look at that.
That is quite the diamond.
Yeah, and beautiful solar prominences too. Oh my gosh.
Right at the edge there, the sun's crown of plasma arching off into space with solar flares as big as the Earth itself.
The cheers are going up here. This is it.
In Spain, NBC's Raf Sanchez was watching his first eclipse from a hillside.
And that's it. It's disappeared, Gotti. It is just the most extraordinary, this perfect circle of blackness, and all around it, this just totally majestic corona of the sun. It looks like somebody has just punched a hole in the sky.
And then the light came rushing in. The Fulmer family came all the way from Las Vegas.
A big fireball!
People marveling at the magic of a mathematical coincidence that the moon is 400 times smaller than the sun, which is 400 times farther from us than the moon.
That's what is happening right now. I'm going to try to do this right here, okay? So we've got the sun over there. Let's see if we can line it up a little bit. Boom, right there. That is a perfect position. It's almost like somebody placed this perfectly with this 400 equation and allowed this to spin around the Earth in this perfect way.
A twilight reminder of our cosmic dance and the brilliance of our sun. Gotti Schwartz, NBC News.
The Chicago White Sox celebrating their hometown Holy Father with a very special giveaway. The Pope has hats for the whole sold-out crowd. You definitely want to see this story. Tom Yamas has the details.
Turning out en masse. Celebrating the Holy Father from Chicago with Pope hats for all 40,000 fans.
And how about that, the Pope hat? Making an appearance in the White Sox dugout.
The sellout crowd packing the pews of Rate Field.
It is the Pope hat night. Everyone is having fun.
Fair to say fans were feeling the moment, offering each other the sign of peace in the fifth inning, and jamming out to Living on a Prayer. Pope Leo is a noted White Sox fan. I caught up with His Holiness 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Will Americans see you soon in America?
They will see me there. By coincidence, today we were looking at the calendar for the next couple of years. Nothing is set in stone yet, but I certainly hope to be there soon.
No word yet if he'll catch a ball game, but he's giving Sox fans a whole new reason to believe.
A recent survey by Fidelity found many couples have a hard time talking about money, which leads to financial problems. About 70% of couples that were surveyed say they don't have a full picture of their partner's financial situation until after they'd already moved in together. And even then, folks still tend to steer clear of conversations about their cash. Deanna Dewberry has the story.
That triumphant trek to marital bliss is expensive, very expensive. According to the Knot survey of more than 10,000 couples, the average cost of a wedding is $34,200. So you'd think after having planned an event that costs as much as a car, couples would know everything about their partner's finances. Fidelity says that's not the case.
Early on, it's important to cover the basics, things like income, debt, savings habits, and financial goals.
But 68% of couples say they did not get a good look at the full picture of their partner's finances until after they'd begun living together. And even then, money matters are tough topics.
Most couples feel good about their financial partnership, but nearly half say they avoid money conversations to prevent things like conflict.
Do you find that there's any difference, generational differences?
The younger generations, they're much more likely to keep accounts separate, and they've told us a big driver of that is independence. About 2/3 of people say that it's important to maintain some financial autonomy.
But separate doesn't mean secrets. The key to coupling your cash and reaching your goals is honesty.
Whether couples combine everything, keep things separate, or maybe do a mix of both, success really comes down to communication and transparency.
For couples who are having trouble with this, how do you start opening those lines of communication?
It really comes down to two simple steps. Start small and stay consistent. First, set aside some dedicated time, maybe something even like an occasional money date to talk in a low pressure way.
Now to a growing trend that's changing the way that bars are doing business. It comes as many watering holes around the country are catering to a more mature crowd, hosting Gen X themed nights for those that just want to have a little fun. Joe Fryer's here with more and tells us what's behind the move.
Cocktail, the bar scene has been shaken as the days of a crowded club of 20-somethings seem to be drying up. Now it's Gen Xers who are going all in on nights out.
We've finally lived long enough to become the target demographic for nightlife.
With bars seeing a business boom among adults from their late 40s to early 60s.
Gen X is really kind of the bread and butter of the industry right now.
It comes as Americans are sobering up. A recent Gallup poll found only 54% of adults say they're consuming alcohol. That's the lowest number in nearly 90 years. But while more than half of adults under the age of 35 say drinking, even in moderation, is bad for your health, only 48% of people 55 and older said the same. The trend has some owners tapping into a more mature crowd, throwing theme nights that revel in 80s nostalgia to keep the drinks flowing. Just outside Detroit, the Magic Bag even hosts dance parties with the Early Birds Club.
Who are these early birds?
So an early birds event is more of a Gen X event. We started about 6 o'clock. We ended about 10 o'clock. And it's for people that got stuff to do the next day.
As for Gen Z, a recent poll found they're staying home more often on weekends, mostly hoping to save money.
Of course no one's drinking. You have to take out a loan, a small business loan, for a night out.
Still, bars and restaurants have found some success in catering to younger patrons, introducing mocktail menus and hosting reality TV watch parties. Still, owners say it's the older crowd that's most reliably buying drinks, as they make sure a night out is never wasted.
They just want to have a good time is the best way that I can put it.
And then get a full night's sleep.
And then get a full night's sleep. Yes, exactly.
I'd like to
High prices, high mortgage rates, and low inventory may be turning away potential home buyers. Sales of existing homes slowed in July. That's according to the National Association of Realtors. But it's not all bad news. In today's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan explains why potential buyers may be in a better position to find a deal during the fall and the winter. Take a listen.
High prices and high mortgage rates are slowing home sales. The median home sale price last month was just over $434,000, according to the National Association of Realtors, and those numbers just keep going up.
Rising rates are not helping, so it's holding back some buyer activity.
Lawrence Yoon with the NAR says the war with Iran is driving up mortgage rates. That's because when oil prices rise, investors worry about inflation, and the bond market looks at all those financial pressures to determine rates. As of last week, the average 30-year fixed-rate mortgage was 6.69%, according to Freddie Mac. The week of February 26th, the average was 5.98%, and that was right before U.S. and Israeli forces launched strikes on Iran.
If somehow there is a resolution on the Persian Gulf oil tanker shipment, oil prices do come down, then expect lower inflationary pressure, and the Federal Reserve may be inclined to cut interest rate in the future.
Yoon says the current housing market can be particularly challenging for people looking to buy their first home. He says potential buyers should instead look at buying a condo instead of a single-family home.
Prices have actually declined and with more inventory, and therefore for first-time buyers, condominium, more affordable homes, more options.
There is some good news for potential buyers. Yoon says sellers whose homes have sat on the market will be forced to drop the price. And there are fewer people looking to buy as summer winds down, which means less competition for buyers. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
like a good cocktail, the bar scene.
Annual inflation slowed in July. That's according to government numbers released this morning. But prices are still on the rise, and some popular school lunch items are about to be a squeeze on households. Karen Cape is in Washington and takes a look at what you need to know.
Has been shaken.
The everyday grocery items in these inflation reports really underscore just how challenging these price hikes have been for some households. And packing a lunch this school year is going to add up and may require some creativity.
Annual inflation slowed in July to 3.4%, according to data released by the Bureau of Labor Statistics Wednesday. And easing gas prices between June and July accounted for much of the overall cooldown. But overall prices are still on the rise, and the latest jobs report showed wage gains aren't keeping up.
Inflation is it's a lagging indicator from a consumer sentiment point of view, right? I mean, we talk about numbers, we're banding about all these statistics, but at the end of the day, it's how you feel.
With back to school season revving up for households, the July inflation data shows a number of lunchbox staples more expensive than last year. Bread prices up 3.7%, lunch meats up 0.8%, peanut butter up 1.8% annually, fresh fruits and vegetables up 5.5%, and juices and other non-alcoholic beverages up 2.9% from July of last year. Registered dietitian Brenda Davey, a professor in the Virginia Tech Department of Human Nutrition, Foods, and Exercise, says shoppers should scout sales and note which produce items are in season and plentiful.
Looking for those types of items seasonally can help with budgeting. There's also a lot of discount racks available in grocery stores, and I shop those regularly.
A recent survey from Deloitte also found some caregivers turning to AI for lunchbox ideas, including healthier choices and ingredients.
The actual lunchbox will also cost families more this year, according to a survey of school supply costs by the Century Foundation and the Groundwork Collaborative. The average cost of a lunchbox is up $4 this year, just shy of $19. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Thanks for sticking with us here on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. I'm Deja Brown. Time is 10:04 on this Thursday morning. We've been following a number of stories. This one is one of my favorites. A Jonesboro mother and daughter, they're turning their love for hair into a hub for community and inspiration. Carlisle Coplins shows us how this super team turned their dream into a business that's all about family and giving back.
In 2023, Ebony X Beauty Supply was established by two Arkansas natives, a mother and a daughter from the north side of Jonesboro. They had one goal, which was supplying hair products for all hair types, but they couldn't accomplish this without each other.
It's really important for me to work here with my daughter. She is like the foundation of Ebony X. I've been a hairstylist for over 30 years, and so my comfort is behind the chair. But I do love people, so this gives me an opportunity to show my love for the people.
The connection to the community motivates Terrell, and for her daughter Jasmine, who is the brains behind the operation, she relies heavily on her mom's guidance and knowledge of hair.
Really, honestly, I couldn't do it without my mom. My mom is like our biggest support system within the store.
This mother-daughter duo doesn't just provide hair products. They also aim to inspire the next generation through generosity and unity.
it's just like a family. A lot of people come in and ask me, like, am I a part of the family? No, but they made it feel like family. I just love supporting it, being a part of the small majority.
By coming together, one family has overcome many obstacles and made a major impact.
It's really big that we've found our way and we're established. It is a big thing that we have succeeded and came from the end of the town that people really felt like most people wouldn't advance in. We've not forgotten and we won't ever forget where we came from.
I just love that story. Now listen to this. Many of us start our day by checking the forecast. Of course, I have First Alert meteorologist Patrick Ellis. They have apps on your phone, and the apps are kind of making it easier than ever. But for some small business and summer tourism spots, rain or stormy icons are hitting their bottom line. A day can look like a wash, even if it's only a small chance of rain for a small portion of the day. Lee Waldman has the story from New York City.
You know that your day is dependent on what that forecast says.
Since 2012, the Brooklyn Beach Shop has called the Coney Island Boardwalk home. Along with running the shop, Maya Miller's day-to-day revolves around the forecast.
And this is the same for any beach town or any area that is so heavily reliant on the forecast. And I say on the forecast, I don't say on the weather.
When we stopped by, the forecast showed rain, but outside was nothing but sun. And on the hour-by-hour forecast, the chance of rain doesn't appear until the evening.
Did you ever imagine that your day-to-day would be dictated by an emoji?
No. I thought it was actual weather and if school's out.
Often it just takes clicking on that app and digging a little bit beneath that little icon, and there's usually more context.
Dr. Marshall Shepard is an expert in this field. He says people have become reliant on their weather apps without fully knowing how to digest the data in them.
We are seeing this degradation in sort of context and use of apps, even though we're in probably one of the most sort of accurate periods of weather forecasting and technology that we've ever seen.
While weather apps are great tools, Shepard says they should be paired with expertise from trained meteorologists. For Miller, she wishes the apps told a more complete story.
For the apps themselves, show 3 icons: early morning, day, and night.
In New York, I'm Lee Waldman.
All right, a terrifying situation with a very happy ending. A child choking on a sidewalk is saved by a pair of heroic officers who wasted no time jumping into action. Jeremy Roth has more in today's Look at This.
You know that your day.
Watch police officers rush to save the life of a child choking on the side of the road.
Please hurry, my baby.
After a frantic call came into the Rialto Police Department from a mother who realized her son wasn't breathing, Officer Josh Colorado responded and found the child on the sidewalk unresponsive.
I saw his hands dangling. My heart dropped.
Colorado and another officer sprang into action, administering aid to the choking child as the panicked mother watched. They were able to successfully clear the boy's airway just as paramedics arrived.
Fire's here. We're okay.
You're okay. KCAL reports the child was transferred for treatment and has since made a full recovery. The mother was able to meet the life-saving heroes later on and personally express her gratitude.
This moment to, chat with them, face to face and really, give them a hug and thank them for what they did for my son that day.
Another close call, this one at an Arkansas high school football practice, which came to a halt when a venomous snake was discovered inside a player's helmet. KATV reports the snake, a cottonmouth, was tucked behind the pads of the helmet and amazingly did not injure the player, despite him reportedly wearing the snake-filled helmet for more than an hour. Animal Services officials were able to use water to flood the snake free and safely relocate it. Finally, on to less squeamish school news. When a Colorado 5th grader refused his mom's first day back-to-school photo request, she didn't get mad, she got the cops involved. Amanda Stoltz recruited a passing Keensburg police officer to help school her stubborn youngster, playfully slapping some cuffs on him and posing him in the back of his patrol unit. It seems no actual charges were levied for the first day malfeasance, but little man certainly learned a very important life lesson. If mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
All right, guys, thanks for staying with us on the Action News 5 digital desk. As you well know, we have our regularly scheduled meetings monthly with the mayors of our suburban communities, and one of them is none other than Bartlett's mayor, David Parsons, joining us once again to give us a bit of insight in this early point in August. We've got school with Bartlett City Schools starting back tomorrow. We've got a few Bartlett folks in this station who are excited about that, especially Patrick Ellis. You know, he talks about the Mid-South's nephew getting ready for school, but some exciting events for everyone, not just students in Bartlett, getting ready to kick off the month of August. So, Mayor, first and foremost, good morning. Welcome back. It's always good to see you. How are things going over there in Bartlett?
Going very well. Thank you, Parker. Good to see you again.
Fantastic.
Well, you know, it's a big deal. A lot of folks happy, a lot of folks sad about school starting tomorrow, but we just need to watch out for those kids, those buses. And so the roads will be a little bit busier tomorrow, but kind of unique around here. The year just seems to be flying by. Parker, we're having our final Food Truck Friday of the year tomorrow, August tomorrow. And
that is crazy.
And it will be at Freeman Park, which is at 2629 Bar Boulevard from 11 to 12. There'll be tons of food. We'll have barbecue, Japanese food, tacos, sweet treats, fries, and more. So come on out there and enjoy the last Food Truck Friday of the year. And then come back Saturday morning. And we still have the farmers market going on. It happens every Saturday, same place, Freeman Park. And it runs from 8 through noon and through the month of September. There's veggies, fruits, meats, baked goods, crafts, snacks, and they're all on hand every weekend. And then the last weekend, we have a huge crowd at Bartlett for the live music series with Twin Soul. This past weekend, we had a huge crowd, Parker. It was phenomenal last weekend. And then on the last weekend, we'll have the Park Hillbillies playing those country outlaw songs and picking hillbilly tunes at Freeman Park. That'll be from 7 to 9. The food trucks are there an hour early. They start at 6. So get there early. And to get to one of those good spots to camp out, bring your kids, bring your dog, bring your cooler, and spend another cool evening with us at Freeman Park at our Music Live. And then we have another little unique deal called the Small Fry Tries coming up on Saturday, August the 22nd at Freeman Park. This is for kids from 2 to 6 years old. And where they can run, ride, splash through all the cutest little triathlon little deals there. It's funny, you laugh and have so much fun just watching all your kids and your grandkids do there. You get all the info of that on our Bartlett Parks and our Rec Facebook page. And on Saturday night, August the 29th, Bartlett Live's back with the eating of the 90s and turn the century back by some awesome new band called Business Casual. Once again, the music is free. It's from 7 to 9. Food trucks again get there at 6. So again, get there early, get you a spot, put your blanket out in the grass, and just enjoy another great evening.
And enjoy some of the incredible weather that we've had. I mean, it's been unseasonably cool. I mean, this past weekend was nothing short of a tease for fall. I mean, I have to imagine that was just a great time in Bartlett over the weekend.
We actually seen some folks with sweaters on last Saturday, but it was cool. It makes you look forward to the fall coming.
No, it certainly does. School's starting back, getting ready for some Friday night lights once it cools down a little bit. But the Bartlett Live I've seen it on social media. I've not had a chance to get out there yet, but it's just looked like an absolute hit. You get the food trucks out there. I mean, it is a full-on event, a way to enjoy the outdoors, especially when the sun starts to set. We've had some pretty hot days these last couple of weeks. A little reprieve this last week, but it's been a good summer in Bartlett, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean we have hot days, but at least we're getting a cycle of the up and downs and the ebbs and the flows, and makes you think ahead about football season and the fall coming ahead.
I know we just saw the preseason rankings for college football. Ole Miss fans are top 10. You know, if you went to Mississippi State like me, it makes you cringe, but it also gets you excited for some college football. Women's soccer, Memphis women's soccer, they had a great season last year. They kick off a little exhibition tonight at Mississippi State in Starkville. So glad to see soccer's coming back. And then all those high school sports that are coming back. We've got some great high school athletics here in Shelby County. So it's a nice little introduction, school getting back. We're kind of closing out the summer, but with Bartlett's events, I think you structure that strategically, is that you start to close out these summer events like Food Truck Friday, and then you get into the fall events as we get into that with Bartlett. So I love it. I love to see that it's been a success. I love to see everybody's been enjoying a good time. We had a bang-up July with 4th of July and so on, fishing rodeos, and so now it's time to get into the fall, and the weather's just been a nice little introduction to that. Glad everything's going good, Mayor.
Yeah, we are too. Parker, for the hillbillies that we got coming, I'm gonna bring a yard chair for you.
Okay, all right. Count on that. Let's see. When the hillbillies, they're coming August 15th.
Yep.
The Park Hillbillies.
Park Hillbillies.
All
Yep.
right.
And
I've got the flyer right here.
And we're gonna save you a chair, brother.
Okay. I'll have my people call your people.
Okay.
We'll get out there with the park chair. That sounds good. All right. Well, Mayor, I mean, we've had a great. You did a whole rundown. You took all my questions. I love when things are short and sweet. When we let know what's happening in Bartlett. Anything else on the radar here for the city of Bartlett? Any teasers to September? Anything we can be on the lookout for?
Well, we're all looking forward to our Fall Fest, which is the last September 31, I think October 1 and 2. But the Fall Fest is going to be pretty phenomenal this year. We got quite a few things in our handbook on that one. And one of the good things that's happening this year, we've been doing just a backyard barbecue. This year, we're going to have a championship barbecue and a backyard barbecue. We'll have 2 barbecue cooking contests going on at the same time. It's going to be phenomenal. We got a great lineup on singers, a lot of vendors there. It's one of those things we just talking about. It's what everybody looks forward to, football and festivals in the fall.
Now, I do have one more question, because you're saying that, you know, all this information you can find on the Bartlett website, Bartlett social media. Have we lost the interns? Are the social media interns back in school now?
Well, yeah, but we've got some replacements there, so we're still in pretty good shape.
Well, that's good. I mean, because I've told you, man, those interns, those social media interns, whether it's police, fire, the city, they have been a riot this summer. And I mean that as a compliment. They have been incredible. It's been a great way to engage with not just the media, but the people. I mean, it's been a very entertaining summer, and I'm glad to see that you got some replacements. You're able to keep the momentum going with that. So, yeah, you'll be able to find that info on the social media pages for City of Bartlett, as well as their website. Good stuff, Mayor. Glad to hear they're still there.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, sir. Well, you've heard it all. He did a full rundown. This will obviously be on our website, actionnews5.com. And as always, it is a great month when we can have David Parsons on to give us a look into the next month of events with the city of Bartlett. And so I've got that marked down August 15th for the Hillbillies. And you save me that lawn chair, and we'll be there. Sounds good, Mayor.
Thank you, Parker.
Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. I'm Deja Brown. Time now is 10:23 on this Thursday morning. Let's talk about some health news. An estimated 1 million Americans are believed to have Lynch syndrome. It's a genetic disorder that puts a person at extremely high risk of colorectal cancer and more vulnerable to certain other cancers as well. But right now, clinical trials are underway to test a vaccine that could protect people from these diseases in the future. In today's Health Minute, we hear from Mandy Gaither, who spoke to one of the people who are rolling up their sleeves.
Stacey Norton's mother was in her early 30s when she died of colon cancer. At age 25, her sister passed away from a brain cancer, and her maternal grandmother had both colon and uterine cancer.
So there's a huge family history, huge.
Norton is also at extremely high risk of developing cancer. Through genetic testing, this OBGYN at Houston Methodist learned she has Lynch syndrome, an inherited mutation in one of 5 specific DNA repair genes that is estimated to affect about 1 in every 279 people in the U.S., but experts say many people don't know they have it because awareness is low.
At 47, I actually had a, what I thought at the time was going to be a risk reductive hysterectomy, in time to find out I already had stage 1 uterine cancer.
That's why Norton has twice now rolled up her sleeve for a vaccine being tested in early clinical trials. Researchers hope the vaccine will teach the immune system to attack abnormal clumps of cells before they turn into cancer.
July 31st of 2024, I had a colonoscopy, and that's the first time ever I've had a colonoscopy with no polyps, which was huge for me.
Norton now hopes she has a future without another cancer diagnosis and that her children will be spared from the disease. They too have the same syndrome.
If we don't do these things, then we won't ever move medicine forward and make it better for everybody.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
This morning, you may want to check your fridge and pantry. There's a fresh round of summer bacteria warnings that are starting this week. Karen Kafa has the very latest information from Washington on how this summer has been so dangerous, from the salad bar all the way to the beach.
More than a dozen Taylor Farms products, ranging from burritos to salsa to guacamole, and sold at major retailers across 26 states, are being recalled because they include jalapeno peppers that may be contaminated with salmonella.
Check your refrigerator, check your freezer, make sure you don't have any of the recalled product, and be informed of the risks.
Consumers are urged to discard any recalled products immediately, and Taylor Fresh Food says refunds are available at the point of purchase. And the company says it's no longer sourcing food from the company the products came from. The latest recall comes amid the ongoing investigation into the multi-state cyclospora outbreak. Barbara Kowalczyk, director of the Institute for Food Safety and Nutrition Security at George Washington University, says summer is prime season for these concerns.
These pathogens, whether it's a parasite or a bacteria, really do like hot, humid weather. So we have kind of our cyclospora season, our salmonella season, and unfortunately we're in that right now.
But James Rogers, director of Food Safety at Consumer Reports, says it's tough to tell right now why this summer has seen so many of these headlines.
It's going to take some backwards investigation once these outbreaks and this season is done to really kind of identify what's going on.
Meanwhile, in Louisiana, health officials are warning beachgoers about a flesh-eating bacteria found in coastal waters that's seen an uptick in cases this summer and has killed at least 5 people. Eating raw or undercooked shellfish from those waters, particularly oysters, can also lead to infection. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
A new ranking by UCLA identifies a massive landfill on the outskirts of Buenos Aires as the world's top methane emitter. It's a key gas driving climate change. The site operator disputes the findings. Ivan Perez-Cementi brings us the details from Argentina.
This is the largest landfill in Latin America, receiving over 400,000 tons of trash every month, nearly a half of all the waste generated in Argentina. Now, a study by UCLA reveals it is also the highest methane-emitting landfill in the world, based on satellite data collected throughout 2025.
Methane is a powerful greenhouse gas with over 80 times the heat-trapping potency of carbon dioxide. And it's responsible for roughly 30% of global warming. So it's a big deal.
Spanning over 1,200 acres, almost 1.5 times the size of New York's Central Park, this place, the Norte 3 facility, processes waste for 14 million people. Satellites from Planet Labs and NASA have detected significant methane plumes over the site, occurring more than 21 times in a single year.
CNN reached out to the state-owned operator, SEAMSE. While declining an on-camera interview, they released a counter-report questioning UCLA's methodology, arguing that satellite readings ignore the site's daily operational scale and its biogas-to-energy conversion plant. The ranking focuses on absolute emissions rather than relative intensity per volume processed. It fails to account for critical variables like daily tonnage, site capacity, and biogas capture systems, the company stated.
The main problem is how much organic waste and how we dispose that waste. We need to address that if we need to have less methane emissions. We need less organic waste and less waste in general. So that's a cultural problem, and Latin America is particularly bad at that.
Iván Pérez Armenti, CNN, Buenos Aires.
The annual Nutcracker Ballet is once again bringing dancers of all ages and skill levels to the stage this holiday season. But this year's production is extra special. After nearly a decade, the ballet will return to the iconic Sanger Theater in Biloxi, Mississippi. It's a homecoming that has been highly anticipated not only for the dancers, but for the entire community. Megan Fayard has the story.
Just the thrill of being back at the Sanger Theater holds such great memories, and we're just delighted to have our hometown theater back in operation, and we're so grateful to the Encore Sanger Group for getting it back open, and we hope to have many more ballets at the Sanger Theater.
For the last 9 years, the Mississippi Gulf Coast Ballet Theater has brought its production of the Nutcracker to various theaters across the area after the Sanger closed its doors. But this December, the beloved ballet is coming home, bringing a long-awaited tradition back to the community.
For some of the dancers, we did the homecoming. We were involved in that at the Sanger Theater, but most of them have no clue what they're getting into. And I think that once they see the Sanger Theater and get a chance to perform there, it's going to be just a heartfelt moment for everyone, and we'll enjoy it for many years to come.
Some of the young dancers taking part in this year's production say they're thrilled to experience the Nutcracker inside the beautiful Sanger Theater and to have the opportunity to share the stage with.
Thank you for sticking with the Action News 5 digital desk. We're going to cut out of that package that we were just watching, and we're going to take you live to the National Association of Black Journalists Conference being held right now in Atlanta, Georgia. The Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton is on the stage. The family of Nolan Wells right now calling for a federal investigation into his death. We're going to listen in.
Nolan's family. It's a really, really sad occasion that we're here again. I was just saying to my staff on the way in, it's like this brings back so many vivid memories for me and my own family, having lost Jordan to unnecessary gun violence in November 2012, Black Friday, simply because he was black and playing loud music in his car. And so here we are again today, here for the loss of another black young man in our community. And we find ourselves asking the same questions. How did it happen? Why did it happen? And this family stands here demanding answers. This family deserves answers. I myself sought the same justice for my son Jordan that they're seeking for theirs, and they deserve answers. And they deserve justice. Justice that should not be denied this family, or should ever be denied to any of our children or our lost loved ones. As a member of the Congressional Black Caucus, I'm the second vice chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. We are demanding a full federal investigation. Cash Patel, we're demanding a full federal investigation as to what has actually happened to Nolan Wells. We want to make sure that every stone is unturned because his life matters. All of our children's and our families' lives matter. And we must fight back. We must stand up and we must demand accountability for this family's loss. We cannot turn a blind eye to what continues to happen again and again and again. That's the reason why I ran for Congress, to make sure that we continue to put a face on what's happening to our families and our communities every single day. We must say Nolan's name. Amen. Say his name. Lift his name. And as the national Black journalists of this country, you have the ability to be able to lift this story and not let it die. We see over and over again these kinds of tragedies in our communities that continue to happen. And they make it to CNN. They make it to MSN Now. They make it to our local news for maybe 30 days, if that. And then the stories are gone. And the carnage is left with the families and the communities that have lost someone that they love. So I thank the National Black Journalists. Thank you for lifting this family story. Do not let it die. Continue to say his name. Continue to tell his story, because they deserve justice, and it matters. It mattered for me. It mattered for Trayvon. It mattered for Eric Brown. It matters for all of our loved ones that we have lost.
As Attorney Crump comes, let me say, as Congresswoman McBath has said, the caucus has asked the federal government to look into it. For those of us that are worried about the politicalization of the present administration, that is why January becomes important, that we have a judiciary committee that can also monitor when investigation happens now or does not happen. So it won't end there. They may come out with any announcement they want in the next month or so. We having a big march August 28th in Washington we must deal with voting rights. So we have the right people in so we can check and balance. I want to say to people in Mississippi, whatever investigation you come with, once we have a fair and balanced government, your investigation will be investigated. It will not end with what they say in Mississippi. Attorney General of Black America, Benjamin Crump.
Thank you so much, Mentor. Reverend Allen, thank you for helping not only lead the effort to get to the truth, but keeping this family in your prayers as you have done so many more families, giving them support. I'm Attorney Ben Crump, along with Attorney Eric Hertz, Attorney Lisa Park, Attorney Ahmad Smith. We have the honor of representing the family of Nolan Wells. Obviously, you all have come to know his parents, Christine and Elmore Wansley. And this is hard. I heard Congresswoman McBath, who lost her son Jordan almost 12 years ago, and it's still raw and emotional when you hear her talk about the loss of a child. I mean, he's not coming back, and that is the story. Everything else is just, hyperbole, is distractions. The story is what happened to Nolan Wells. Somebody knows something. Somebody saw something. I'm thankful to Reverend Al Sharpton and Mr. Tyler Perry and Terrell Owens and Byron Allen putting up these rewards. I understand others have now put up rewards, and that's good because that means we all have the same objective. We want the truth about what happened to Nolan Wells, and it is urgent. It is urgent because each day that goes by, you worry, will we ever get to the truth? And so that's why we want to thank CBC for calling on the federal authorities and anybody else who has resources to help this family get to the truth of what happened to their son. I know I was talking to Kristen Clark, and she said, no, let's make sure that all taxpayers' money that goes to support federal resources apply to our children too. I mean, let's say that nobody should say, oh, it doesn't matter that much because it's a black child. No, it matters. All of our children matter. And so we are going to continue every day to say his name, Attorney Hertz, Attorney Park, Attorney Smith, trying to work with the local district attorney to give them what they need to do a thorough, fair, full, impartial investigation. That's what we're asking for. Everything else is just a distraction because Nolan's birthday is next Wednesday, August 19th. It is going to be extremely difficult for his mother, his father, and his family, because this August 19th will be like no other that they've ever had for the last 19 years. I mean, it's a milestone when your child gets to be 18 years old. You try to breathe a little easier, Reverend. Now you say, man, we almost got them there. They at the cusp of being an adult, cusp of manhood. And you heard how Elmore was working so hard, him and Nolan, his football career. I mean, he had a good start, but this was really going to be his year. I mean, so much hope, so much promise. And then July 4th came, and 4th of July will never be the same to Christine and Elmore. And on the 19th, next Wednesday, his family, we're all asking for prayer for Nolan. I know there's going to be a prayer visual in Ocean Springs. I know Reverend Al is going to work to make sure we're all praying all across the nation. But, y'all, let's pray. Can we pray together in unity to say, let's get to the truth of what happened to Nolan Wells? Can we do that, America? Can we at least come together in unity on his birthday? Everybody who claimed to ever be a friend of his, can we come together in unity and pray for the truth and try to have love in our hearts for this family, for this broken-hearted mother and father, his sisters and brothers? Can we try to give them grace and give them love and pray for their humanity, for their son who was lost on 4th of July and is never coming back? Is that so much to ask? Let's have a National Day of Prayer on August 19th, next Wednesday, for Nolan Wells. And at this time, we'll hear from his mother and father, then Eric, and us will try to answer your questions.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for having us, for platforming our son's story. As many of you know, his 19th birthday is next Wednesday. And it's, as the days gets closer, it's definitely getting harder that realization is really sinking in. That we don't have our son physically here anymore. And I think a lot of people have forgotten. Only thing we want to know is what happened. That's all we want to know, is what happened to our son. Because many parents out there, you still have your children. You still can hug them. You still can call them. You still can celebrate their life with them. And we do not have that anymore. Our lives have forever changed. This new normal is something I would never wish on anyone, not even my worst enemy. The hurt that we feel daily, the conversations that we have to have, not just with each other, but also with our other children as they are grieving as well. So we ask that everyone, please, next Wednesday, join us in prayer. As for us as a family, but also too for everyone out there, but especially for Nolan and the process that we're going through. And again, we thank you so much.
We are listening in on the press conference at the National Association of Black Journalists Conference in Atlanta. Again, we are streaming on our website and on Facebook. We're going to take a quick 1-minute break, and then we'll tune back into that press conference as it is happening live. Stick with us.
We have to deal with a new normal. Who knows what these years are going to bring, but we know that these years, on August 19th, is going to bring a lot of hurt, some laughter as we think about memories, but as far as our family, a very big piece will no longer be there. We just want the truth. We just want to know what any other parent would want to know. We're asking the questions any parent would ask. And if you feel that something's wrong with that, then that's a problem that you have to deal with. But as far as us and our family, we're just asking for truth, transparency, and to please keep us in your prayers. Next week is going to be a hard week, and the years follow are going to be hard. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Christian Elmore. It never gets easy, Reverend Al. And they're asking, I know Reverend Jamal Bryant is coming to Ocean Springs. Anybody who can come to Ocean Springs to be at the prayer visual with them on a Wednesday evening at 7 p.m., please come. And if you can't come, please have prayer visuals in your city and your communities. We need to find out what happened. Attorney Hurts, Attorney Parks, and Reverend Allen, as we're trying to answer your questions. The family, obviously, the motion, they'll try to answer questions if they can. Any questions?
Yeah,
Hello, my name is Logan John, NABJ.
Yeah, give us where you're calling, where you.
NABJ News.
Okay.
What do you believe accountability and justice for Nolan Walls should look like?
It's very simple. As we always say, if it was your child, what will accountability and justice look like? Well, that's the same thing they want for their child. Whatever it would be for your child, that's the same thing they want. Whatever investigation you would do for your child, that's the same investigation they want. We're not asking for anything special. We just want equal justice for our children too.
And I think that we must be very much emphasizing is they have said, again here with the press conferences and statements they've made throughout when they started at our headquarters in Harlem speaking to the press. They're not trying to come to a conclusion. The other side did, saying that there was no foul play. They're trying to tell us what happened. And we're going to stand with them on that, and as well as other cases around the country. Yes, sir.
I'm Ezekiel Telemacher with ABC 24. There's been a lot of misinformation and rumors spreading on social media. Is there anything that you guys would like to debunk that you've seen that has stood out to you?
Let me just say this. I wouldn't really.
Well, I mean, I think that social media has distorted a lot. I think for myself and Ben, we're public figures that you're going to have social media lie on us every day. I don't even know if I'm really here according to social media. But what hurts us is the distortions they've done on the family, where they've harassed her in her job and sent stuff to their house, distorted with the father's question. They didn't ask to be public figures. They only are trying to get justice for their son. So I would just say, whatever social media people are trying to get likes and hits and all, do that against people like me that offered ourselves public. They didn't ask for this. All they want is what happened to their son.
And I'll simply say this, because that question has come up, and I released a statement, and I want to be clear about it. We defend the First Amendment rights of content creators reporting on Nolan Wells' case. We stand with content creators, independent journalists, and citizens who are responsibly reporting on the Nolan Wells case and asking legitimate questions in pursuit of truth and accountability. The First Amendment protects robust public discussion on matters of public concern, and those protections are not reserved just for traditional media. We are deeply concerned when cease and desist letters, threatened lawsuits, or other legal pressure become tools to intimidate or silence lawful scrutiny. There is an important difference between knowingly spreading false information and asking questions. Examining.
We continue to listen in on the press conference that's happening right now in Atlanta, Georgia at the National Association of Black Journalists Conference. Attorney Ben Crump there speaking to the audience as audience members are asking questions. Again, we are streaming this live on our website as well as on the Action News 5 Facebook page. We're going to take another quick minute break and then we will tune back into the press conference. Stick with us.
And what deadline have you given them for a response?
We've actually we've actually written a letter, a formal letter, and it's already been executed. We've already sent it forth. We are giving them time to respond. We did not give them a specific deadline, but we did say that we are expecting to have an answer as soon as we possibly can.
Attorney Crump, Ryan Young from CNN. Thank you to the family again for standing here and talking to us. There's been a lot about the meeting that you were supposed to have with the DA's office and the cooperation that they were supposed to be giving. Can you update us and tell us whether or not the family has had any contact with the DA's office? Are they talking with people? Have the investigators put their arms around you at all?
Attorney Eric Hertz and Attorney Parker, please.
I'm Eric Hertz, with law firm Eric J. Hertz, PC, and I am heading the independent investigation in this case. I think the first thing, before I get to the exact question, is what's worse than losing a child? Probably nothing. But what makes it horrible is not knowing, and transparency is the key. So with us going into this case as doing an independent investigation, we first thank all the people on stage, all the people that have helped, and we thank you, the media. We have had much communication with the district attorney, and I feel that is confidential. We have cooperated, I can tell you that, and we would just want to cooperate like anyone else would have to cooperate.
Oh, I love your earrings. You're so welcome.